Hey guys, Karina Gardner here, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that we don't talk about very often, which is the way that we use our artboard in Illustrator versus Photoshop. Now I have an Illustrator screen open with a brand new document, and you'll notice that I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet right here, and that's where everything that you're going to see happens. But the crazy thing about Illustrator is that if you zoom out, and I'm coming over to my zoom tool here, I'm holding down my option key if you're on a Mac, and I'm clicking out. You can left click if you are with a mouse. But you'll notice that there's huge palette around it. Now sometimes you see that palette in Photoshop, but you can't do anything on it. Like Photoshop confines you to the actual palette space. That is not the case in Illustrator. You can actually draw, and let me just I'm going to grab my paintbrush tool. You can see I can draw around the actual where my actual printing would happen. This is where my printing would happen, but you can draw anything all the way around it. Do you know why this is so useful? I don't think people realize how it's so useful. So like when I'm creating a sticker sheet, I have my main stickers, what I'm going to print, and what the final is going to be right there on this white area, right? Everything that I'm using, but I'm sort of still working on or whatever, is sitting around it, as well as copies of things. And you'll see that in my courses that I like to put copies of things sitting off the palette, because once you start merging things together and you can't get them back, you want to go back to those working pieces so that you can pull whatever you need, okay? So I wanted to show you that you can use everything around it. The other thing that's different in Illustrator versus Photoshop is the layering system. So you can use layers in Illustrator. So if you go to Window and you click on Layers, let's see right here. Okay, so you can see that I've got some scribbles, very, very little scribbles right here in the Layers palette. You can create a new layer right here, so clicking on it, and you can draw and add something to that layer, okay? I mean, it's great, it works great. The main reason I use it is when I'm trying to select the same color of something, and maybe there's black on one layer and black on another layer, and I just want the black on layer 2 and not on layer 1. So maybe I will lock down layer 1 and only work on the stuff on layer 2. But it's not as necessary the way you use Photoshop, where you have to use the layers to really get everything separated out so things don't merge together, so things aren't laid on top of each other in such a way that you can't access them. So you can use layers, but very often designers don't use the layers as often in Illustrator. There are specific classes where I show you how we do use layers to help you, in particular in the Illustrator Academy, which is all about drawing and showing you how to layer in such a way that it really does help you. But very, very often designers don't use layers, okay? So the last thing I wanted to show you is this hand tool. Whenever I'm using the palette, I'm usually moving things around. I wanted you to see that if you use this hand tool, you can move things around, and I'll have stuff way up here, drawing way up here, that I will be using sometime later. And it's just so nice to be able to use this hand tool and move it around. Same with the zoom tool, which we've already used. Zooming in and out allows me to really get to what I'm trying to draw and work with. Okay. If you haven't already subscribed to my courses VIP group, it's a totally free group. You guys get tutorials before everybody else, and you get stuff weekly so that you know what to do. That way you can learn to become a designer or get to be an expert in Illustrator, which I would love for you to become. If you're looking for my courses, those are all found at karinagardner.com, and click on courses, and you will find everything that I do taught in a really succinct way so that you can also learn to be a fabric designer, a silhouette designer, a paper designer, whatever you are desiring to learn. All right, guys, I'll see you soon.